You could say we were perfect in pink today. 3-0 against Bournemouth. Yes, I know they're a newly promoted side, but come on, guys. It is still a fantastic result. This is one of those games you could easily slip up, and it's happened. It has happened in the past, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself because ultimately this isn't a game against one of the top six or something like that, but it's still such a good performance. We're going to get into it all. First of all, let's have a look at what happened throughout the game, who scored, all of that stuff, and take a look at the stats. Then we'll get into your questions, or your comments, I should say. Look at Fantasy Premier League as well to see how many points I've got so far. Welcome to Operation Arsenal. So, first of all, guys, we blew them away within 10 minutes. The game was actually done within 10 minutes, was it not? I mean, it didn't look like Bournemouth were going to get anything out of this game. As soon as we put that second goal away, Ødegaard getting both goals in the first 11 minutes or so, it was done and dusted, really. And Saliba's goal, oh my God. Just look at Zinchenko's reaction when that goal loops in with his left foot. Saliba is that good, okay? He woke up this morning, he thought, right, breakfast, get ready for the game, and then he thought, I'm going to be left-footed today. And then he just went and scored, unreal finish. Yeah, something else, really. Jesus didn't score today. He got an assist. He did technically score. It was millimeters offside. Really harsh, if you ask me. I do feel like, I guess it's the letter of the law, and he is technically offside. But come on, we're 3-0 up. It's for our fourth goal, and he is literally a pube offside. It's the thickness of a pube, not the length. Just unbelievable, really. So this is how we lined up today. Ben White again playing at right back with Saliba just too good to drop. Gabriel on the left side, Zinchenko on the very left side with Ramsdale in goal. Then, of course, Xhaka, Partey and Ødegaard as a midfield trio. It's definitely a 4-3-3. It's not a 4-2-3-1. Ødegaard does drop deep. Xhaka goes forward. You know, it's a very fluid 4-3-3, and it just reminds me of Pep. We're basically Man City version 2. Can we get as good as them? Quite possibly. Saka on the right wing had a better game today. Martinelli on the left as well. And then, of course, the main man up front. Weirdly enough, though, he was given man of the match. Now, don't get me wrong. He still had a very good game. And it just goes to show he doesn't need to score to have an impact on this team. But for sure, man of the match was Ødegaard today for me. He really stood out. No one's really talking about him. What's going on? He won us the game in the first 10 minutes or so. He's just the glue. He's our captain. And everyone's talking about Jesus, Saliba's goal. And it's a good thing in a way. We've got so many positives that we don't know what to focus on. But for me, my focus today is on just how good Ødegaard was, which was really good to see. We had a good few substitute appearances. I thought Smith Rowe looked pretty good when he came on. Nketiah could have scored. Tomiyasu looked like he's getting back to full fitness. I'm just sad we didn't see Vieira come on in the final 5 minutes or so. Tierney came on left. I think he was playing left wing at the end of the game. Lokonga. I mean, those subs were a bit pointless. It felt like would have just loved to have seen Vieira come on. The stats. Do you know what? I'm quite surprised. It's only coming up as a 1.43 expected goals. The chances we had were unbelievable. We can talk about Bournemouth briefly because whilst it's a 3-0 loss, and whilst it could have been more, there were moments where you can see what they're trying to do. Do you know what? I'm not going to say they're going to be safe. I think it's very difficult to call that so early on. What I will say, though, is that they've got a top manager in Scott Parker. He's so eloquent the way he speaks, and I've seen some of his halftime team talks, pre-match team talks. He's a very good manager, good coach. And if they do stay up, they can just build on that and keep him. He could be the new Eddie Howe for them, right? But also, it's about keeping some of their key players. I think Lerma is very, very vital to what they do. Kelly as well, very impressed with him. Not sure about Billing up front with Moore. I think they were just hoping to lump the ball into the box, to be honest, but it wasn't working out. I think based off today's performance and the start of the season from Bournemouth, it is very difficult to tell where they're going to be. They could well survive, but they could also go down. And during the game, the Arsenal away fans, which you've got to say, it was unbelievable. The away support, just amazing. You couldn't hear the Bournemouth fans at all. But they were singing "You're Going Down with United," and I thought that was just brilliant. Just go back a year, and 3 games in, we've got no points, no goals scored, and we're bottom of the league. And right now, we're top of the league. Let me just go up here, go into Premier League round 3, and then go to table. So there you go, guys. Confirmed. We're at the top there, both North London sides at the top, but of course we're 2 points clear because Tottenham drew with Chelsea. I think Man City will win. They'll beat Newcastle. I'm so excited, guys. It's just an unbelievable time to be an Arsenal fan. So let's take a look at my FPL. Let me just update this. So it's 26 points. Ødegaard with a massive 13. I did captain Jesus again. I'll probably leave him as captain for the rest of the season, to be honest. 8 points, not a great return. I got 3 with Saka as well. Saka's had a bit of a quiet start to the season, but, you know, he will come good. Neto with a measly 2 points. I might have to take him out. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and make sure you join the MGH United League. I'm currently 153rd. What's going on there? Terrible. But we're going to get into your comments now as well. As usual, use the hashtag Operation Arsenal or just reply to one of my tweets. Jesus, Saliba and Zinchenko have proven to be elite additions to this promising squad, says Austin. I can't wait to see what Arteta's next key target looks like. I think we already know what that is, and it's obviously to get back into the Champions League. Maybe right now he's thinking top 4 in the Premier League and win the Europa League, or at least just guarantee a top 4 finish in the Premier League. We've got to get Champions League football. Ødegaard's technical quality is phenomenal. If he shoots more, he scores more. It's simply a question of him being more selfish. Couldn't agree more with that. We saw in the last game, there was that chance that Ødegaard had, and he tried to pass it, and I just thought, mate, you're trying too hard to be Mesut. Mesut did that, and sometimes it's not the right thing to do. Being selfish in football is unfortunately something you need to do every now and again, especially for an attacking player. Just shoot, because he has got unbelievable techers, and he will score more goals. We've then got Martin saying should have been much more than 3-0, but we are top of the league. Yes, it should have been more than 3-0. I'm just happy that we get the clean sheet. I would always take a 3-0 over a 5-1 or even a 6-1. Clean sheets are the basics of, or the basic foundation of football. Defence is so important. If you don't concede, you won't lose games. I'm sorry to be a bit Michael Owen about it, but if you really reel it in and think, what is football? Don't concede and score goals. You win games. That is it. So building from the defence, we've got to be honest with ourselves. Arsenal fans, this is the best our defence has looked in a long time. We've got strong players in every position, and we're building off that. And the attack is just getting better and better as well. So 3-0 was a good result. It could have easily been more. Then we've got one from King Muhammad. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Not an Arsenal fan here, but I think Arteta deserves huge credit for what he has done to this side, considering the team he started with. This is a really interesting comment. He's a United fan, so I appreciate you giving me your thoughts here. And I've got to say, it's about time that we got comments like this. As Arsenal fans, we know very well that we've been kind of like a banter club, comedy FC, whatever you want to call us, for so long. And we haven't had compliments from other teams' fans for a long time, it feels like. And I've grown up through the Invincibles era, the team that almost won the league when Leicester won it. You know, we've had ups and downs, lots of downs in recent history. And this is so nice to see. So thank you for your comment. And Arteta does deserve a lot of credit. And I want to say the same thing back to United fans, because I feel like this could be Ten Hag in 2 seasons, 3 seasons, maybe even sooner, because they're such a big club. United will back him, or you'd hope so anyway. Just need to give your manager time. Arteta talked about this process, and we're now just seeing it come to fruition, and it is absolutely glorious. Jason says Zinchenko is a great signing. Saliba feels like a new one. Good to see him on the score sheet. Our midfield was free today, and our backline was solid for most of the game. Agreed, Jason. Zinchenko, I think, is right up there right now with Jesus, one of the best signings of the summer. Obviously, other clubs have done well with some signings as well, but everyone's talking about the impact Jesus has made. Not enough people talking about Zinchenko's impact, because I guess it's mainly because it's not in a position that we really, really needed to strengthen him with Tierney. But Tierney being quite injury prone, Nuno Tavares very raw, great potential, but out on loan now. Zinchenko's come in at a perfect time, and I just hope we can keep him fit because he starts ahead of Tierney. He just does. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of Tierney, but we can't rely on someone that is made of glass. We needed Zinchenko to come in, and he's doing a great job. But Saliba feeling like a new signing, I couldn't agree more. It's basically a new signing, isn't it? When you buy a player with so much promise and then you loan them out for so many years, you just forget. Yes, I saw reports of him doing well, and I saw the highlights and him winning awards, the Young Player of the Year in France, and that's fantastic, but he's not at my club. And now he is. And it feels like a new signing, it's glorious. And then we have a comment from Danny Watts here, and this chant didn't stop the entire game. So again, credit to the away Arsenal fans. I think they might just be the best in the league. I'd love to go down to the Bournemouth game at some point. I used to go to Bournemouth as a kid every summer. I've never been to their stadium. So I'd love to be a part of that. But even I would have been exhausted, even if I was just singing along at home. But imagine being on your feet and singing the entire game in the sun and just constantly. I'm guessing Saliba was very, very happy. And it must be amazing to be a player and have just thousands and thousands and thousands of people singing your name. Unbelievable. But guys, it is an absolutely massive result for us today. Really, really pleased with the start to the season. Look at this, team form. Just brilliant. So many clean sheets. Of course, 2 conceded at Leicester, although we scored one of them. It was an own goal. Up next, we've got Fulham. And then we go into Aston Villa. And then a big one against United at Old Trafford. We've caught them at a good time, potentially. But just imagine if they do get 2 very big victories in a row or 3. It might make it a little bit more tricky. Everton at home, not worried about that one at all. Brentford away is going to be tricky. But, out of these fixtures, I would anticipate at least 13 points out of 15. Genuinely, I think the only game that will drop points, maybe, is this one. I think win, draw. But of course, it's difficult to try and calculate that when there's still a few little things that can change here and there with the window still not closing. I mean, both these games are still during the window, so who knows? We might get Tielemans in. Personally, I watched the Tottenham game earlier against Wolves, and Neves was unreal. I want Neves and I want Diaby from Leverkusen because Pepe wasn't in the squad today, so I'm sure he's going out on loan to Nice from what I can see. So yeah, really, really happy, guys. Still some signings to come in potentially, still some players to leave, but Arsenal are in such great shape right now, and I have never been so happy as an Arsenal fan at the beginning of a season. Times are good, and it's just fresh. It's a fresh feeling. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.